Excuse me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are looking over lesson 24 quiz. I know they just took this, and I know you were just scoring them.
Yes.
So I have block 1, and you have block 2.
Right.
So let's just quickly, start with celebration. Something good.
A few people did really well on the on lesson 24. Like Genesis, question 4 is quite. We need to discuss that one. That was questionable. Miss Gilbert was confused by it. I'm confused by it too. And on my exemplar, I have a question mark. So it's not making sense. But for the most part, she got all of them right, except that one may be or may not be. So yeah.
That was a bright spot.
I had a couple of people like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I noticed when I was looking through block 1 that a bright spot or a celebration was like they really understood parallelograms. At least block 1.
Yeah.
The standard that this assessment covered was part of. Yep. You want to
5.M.3. 5.M.3, they had to find the areas and perimeters of triangles and parallelograms, and then they had to find the area of rectangles and decomposing shapes to relate their areas to the area of rectangles.
Okay, yep. So for this specific assessment, let's go through a know and show chart.
Okay.
Do you remember, we haven't done one for this standard yet. So if you want to take a second to think about, for these specific questions, what do they need to be able to, or what do they need to know, and what do they need to show? And then we can compare our two.
Okay.
You can just think through it really quick if you want to jot it down on your...
Okay. Okay. No more room.
So, looking at the standard again, find the areas and perimeters of triangles and parallelograms, and find the area of rectangles in decomposing shapes to relate their areas to the area of rectangles. Does this assessment cover the entire standard?
Yes, I believe it does. Well, let's see. Yes, because they had to find the area, they had to find the perimeter, so that covers that.
Of triangles and parallelograms. I don't think that they did rectangles. And
no, it says
because as I was looking, question 1 was parallelogram, 2 was a triangle, 3 was a parallelogram, 4 was a triangle, and 5 was a triangle and a parallelogram.
True.
So I don't think because this is the middle of the unit and the standard covers that whole unit, it only covers part of the standard. So we're just looking at what they need to know and show for finding the areas and perimeters of triangles and parallelograms.
Okay.
Do you want to compare what you put to what I put? And I did the whole standard.
Okay.
So because once we get into lesson 25 and start looking at the unit assessment, we're going to need the know and show chart for the whole standard.
Okay.
But
I said they had to know how to find the triangle, the area of a triangle and the parallelogram.
Yeah, so I have what area and perimeter represents.
Mhm.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. I'm doing a facility assessment. I was gonna take some pictures real quick.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
And then they need to be able to explain the difference between area and perimeter using words or visuals.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you this.
Thanks.
What else
You got
did
a
you
lot of
have?
little paper.
I think that's basically that they need to know.
And this might not be as important, but I did say that they need to know units, and then I said I will explain. What I'm finding out is that a lot of them may not write what the unit is, like square inches or centimeters or whatever, so they need to
They
know
don't label their answer.
Right.
Yeah, they need to know the appropriate areas for units. I have that too. So
yay.
square units for area and perimeter is linear units.
Mm-hmm.
And then they need to be able to show that they can label their answers. So that's
Right. That's the show, okay. All right. I also said they need to know how to draw a parallelogram and a triangle, because on number 5 they had to draw it. So they had to show it and know how to.
I didn't have that, but that's good. I'm going to add that. So they need to know
how to
create
a parallelogram and a triangle.
how to draw models.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait, hang on. What a triangle and parallelogram look like.
Right.
And then they need to be able to show those shapes on a graph.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they want them to have equal areas too, so it goes back to knowing the area.
Okay, so now that we've gone over what they need to know and show,
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a minute to go through the exemplars and compare our exemplars. I see you have yours.
Okay.
Looks great.
Thank you. I got all these different colored pens from Teacher's Treasures. So
To do.
it makes it
Look, I actually used pencil this time.
What? And I
I
use
know.
pen again.
If you want to take a minute and see if there's
Okay.
anything on mine that's not on yours or anything that's on yours that's not on mine. So 1 to 2 minutes to compare.
Okay. Any misconceptions in there? What I didn't do is I didn't underline, like you've underlined in the paragraph. So,
Annotate the question, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
mhm. See, we had the same answer, but it wasn't matching up. So we have this 1/2 this times height. Oh, I didn't write the formula per se. I just wrote the numbers in words. Okay. I think we have pretty much the same thing. But you know what? It's so funny because when I haven't looked at this in, a minute or from when I first did the exemplar. And it's like, where did I get the 4 and where did I get the 6?
Well, it's funny. We did the exact same thing. Because all you had to do was draw one that was equal. So we could have done anything and we did the same one.
So then so when grading this, then I have to go back because there are some people that had 8 or 4 and 4 or 8 and 8. And that's when I was looking over it this morning, I was like, well, wait a minute. Why did I mark those wrong?
It has to be the same. So what it's
Right.
asking is to draw a triangle and a parallelogram
Right,
and to have the same areas.
right. But it can't
Not
be more
greater than 15. So if they have 8 and 8, they did it right. If they
Okay.
have 12 and 12, they did it right. If they have 10 and 10, they did it right. But
15 and 15, not greater than
15 and 15 is right. Is right.
then
So you
this
may
is
need to go
right.
back and change that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back on all of them because I realized Because since I had 12, I was like, oh, they don't have 12, so they have it wrong.
Oh.
And then I was like, wait a minute. When I read it again today, I was like, nah, they could have 15 or they could have 4 and 4.
Yep.
It just
As
can
long
be.
as, but make
like,
sure
this
that
is
their
9
models
and
represent what they've put the answers. They have to, so if they say 15 and 15,
Oh, which one was that? Right here.
yep,
So they have 3 and 5 and 3 and 5.
yeah.
Okay, so
That's-
that works.
Half of the base times height. Not for that,
Because it's,
because you plug those numbers into the formula, it doesn't equal that. So their model doesn't match,
oh, so this
doesn't match their area.
Oh, I hate geometry. Oh my gosh.
I can, so, really
Mhm.
quick, let's go through the data that I found with block one first,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about the individual questions.
Okay.
And I focused on block one because I know you just gave these yesterday and you weren't done grading them, and I had taken block one.
Mhm.
The reteach that we're scripting today is specific to block one, but then I'll have you do block two.
Okay.
If it's different. If you
Okay.
found the same thing in block two, the reteach applies to both. But
Okay.
as you're going through your data
Mhm.
on a regular basis outside of the data meetings, like as you're doing what we do in here,
Mhm.
looking at each block independently, because they may be making mistakes in one block that they're not in another,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And so I went through each individual question,
Mhm.
and these are the questions and the amount of students that got each question wrong. So what do you notice?
5 was hard
5 was hard.
and 4 was hard. 4
It's-
was
this
very
is-
confusing. Wait,
Yep, so, and
and
then,
then 2, this triangle.
most
Yes,
students,
they
more
did.
students got number 2 wrong
Right.
than
All the other ones.
all the other, but 2, 4, and 5 were
Mhm.
the most concerning. They did 1 and 3, they did the best on. What do you notice? I wrote here what they were
Mhm.
finding the area or perimeter of. So what do you notice that they struggled the most with?
Triangles.
Triangles.
Mhm.
And looking at the exemplar,
Mhm.
what do you think? And when we are thinking, I think in this assessment, the highest leverage question is not necessarily the most difficult question,
Mhm.
but when we're thinking about our know and show chart, so looking back at our know and show chart, and kind of give you a hint here, know and show chart, and like what students need to be able to know and show to master the standard. What question do you think we need to focus on when we go reteach?
Probably number 2.
Number 2, yeah. Thinking about what, and let's look at the student exemplar. I pulled Michaela's,
Mhm.
and Michaela got it correct. And then I want you to look at a student who did not. Let me find one that made the error that most of them, yep. What do you notice? So Michaela got it correct. What do you
Mhm.
notice that Michaela does that Dante
Does not.
does not? Specifically looking at area.
Okay, let's see.
Or I'm sorry, perimeter. Specifically looking at perimeter.
Okay, so perimeter, they have to add all the sides.
Mm-hmm.
So Dante, he added 25 and 25 and got 50. Then he took 24 and 14 and got 38, and he added those two together. And then Michaela, she just did the outer. So he added the inner, and he should not have.
Mm-hmm.
And she added the outer, just the outer numbers,
Yep.
which is the perimeter of it, not
Mhm.
the inside, not the height.
Yeah. So what
He took all numbers.
all the numbers he included height
Right.
in the formula for perimeter,
Right,
whereas it's just adding the external.
right.
Also, now let's look at area.
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice
That he did.
he did versus what Michaela did?
So he took 25 times 25 and got 125. Then he multiplied 24 and by 14, and got 188, and then added it all together. He got, what, 952? Okay. And then what she did is she took 24 times 7, which was half of the height. Which is half, okay. And so she got the 168.
What I noticed with area, so, and I don't know if you noticed this as you were going through, but with perimeter, the main mistake they made is they included
the height.
The height, which they didn't need to do.
Right.
They were all over the place with area.
Yeah.
And so you and I are aligned in that we're focusing on this, because looking back at our know and show chart, what do they need to be able to, or what do they need to know and show on this particular question?
Well, they need to know what the formula is for area and the formula for perimeter. And they need to be able to show that they understand what it should be included and what should not be included.
Yeah. I highlighted on my chart, they need to know how base, sides, and height are used in formulas because they misused it in this formula. And specifically for perimeter, so since this is a 2-point question, they need to add all side lengths to find perimeter. And they need to correctly write and use formulas to find area. This is kind of a complex question because it's got 2 parts. So thinking about a gap statement, remember we start with what students are not yet able to show and why, because they do not yet know. So using these, can you formulate a gap statement? Students are not yet able to because.
Students are not yet able to find the area or the perimeter because they do not understand the basis of the formula. I can't see
that. Oh, you specifically pull it straight from the no side of the no chart. So students are not yet able to add all side lengths to find perimeter and correctly write and use formulas to find area.
Okay.
Because they don't understand how base, size, and height are used in formulas.
Okay.
Which we have right here.
Okay.
So now we know that's our gap. We know that's what students are struggling with, is correctly identifying how to use these numbers in a formula, and because they were all over the place with perimeter, or area, that we just need to reteach area, how to find area. Yeah. When we're thinking of how we reteach, we've talked before about modeling and guided discourse. When I pulled the data, specifically for question number 2, 27 out of 30 students in block 1 missed it. So when you're thinking about what you need to do to reteach, do you think doing a model or a guided discourse would be more appropriate?
Can we do both? Or do we have to pick one?
I think because you're behind due to like the e-learning days and all of that stuff, that one would be appropriate and like quick enough to get where you need to go.
Model it.
Model it, yeah, because 90% of the class did not master the concept. So when you have, again, a majority of the class that's not mastering the concept, you want to model.
Okay.
So I was looking through lesson 25, and it moves beyond finding the area of triangles.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's on our internalization this week. Lesson 25 asks students to,
It's over there.
what is it? Why am I,
Trapezoid?
trapezoid, yes, find the area of trapezoid. But in order to find the area of trapezoid, they have to
know how to
find the area of
a
a triangle. So that's why I also thought this was highest leverage, because they're not gonna be able to master the next part of this standard if they don't master area.
This one, right.
So just doing a quick model reteach
Mhm.
and planning for active monitoring to make sure that they get it
Okay.
of area of triangle. So I pulled just a basic, this isn't even from iReady, but it's just a basic like worksheet that you can
Make
model
copies
one
of.
of these
Okay.
and then give them a couple. They don't even need to do this whole thing.
Okay.
Like model
Number
one
one.
at the board,
Right.
then say, okay, now I'm gonna come around and look for, and I would even just look for them using base, side, and height
Mhm.
correctly in the formula.
Okay.
So there's your 3 laps. The first time I'm gonna come around and look that you're using base correctly. The second time I'm gonna come around and look that you're using height correctly. The third time I'm gonna come around and look that you're using sides correctly. Or you can do the first time I'm gonna come and check your formulas for area. The second time I'm gonna come and check for perimeter. But you want to make sure specifically as you're scripting your model that you're modeling for the misconception that they made. And remember what we named the misconception to be for perimeter?
All sides, knowing that
They included,
the height,
Mhm.
and not they just needed the outside, not the height.
yeah. So as you're planning for your model, one of the things in a strong model is that you make that mistake and then correct it.
Okay.
So you're like, oh, oops, I added, a triangle has 3 sides. I added 4 numbers. What did I do wrong here?
Okay.
And then, oh, I included height. I should not include height. So I'm gonna give you, I have a script
Mm-hmm.
that I'm gonna model a model
Okay.
for you. But I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to think through scripting a model, using this of
Okay.
reteaching area and perimeter.
Okay.
Just a quick 10-minute reteach, if that. And then I'll model my model. If you're not done with your script, you can practice using my script too.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know 5 minutes is not always enough time to write a script, but I want you to think through what you might model. You can use the back, so you don't have to write your script on a Post-it.
99 Post-its.
That's just the key for that.
Okay. Okay. Now, the one thing I know that down pat is finding the area of a rectangle. This is just length times width. But this just threw them off.
But it's always good when you can like clearly identify the misconception,
Yeah.
because then you know exactly what to show them when you're modeling.
I think that perimeter would be the easiest for them to catch because it's just adding the three sides.
They just need a complete review. I couldn't identify looking through area. If you, as you're looking back through before tomorrow, before the reteach, and you can identify like a solid thing that they're doing, make sure to include that in your model, like as a misconception. I think probably they might be forgetting to do half of the base. Okay, in about 1 minute, I'll have you compare what you have to what I have. And again, if it's not done, don't worry.
Okay. What's the way that's
I just want to make sure we're finished before your class comes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness, man. 10 minutes or 20, 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay, finish up that
Okay.
thought, and then we can, I know, do you want me to make this bigger?
Please. My glasses are over there. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You can scroll down. This is my script. So just looking through what I planned and what you started.
And I said when I graded lesson 24 quiz, I noticed that the majority of the students got number 2 incorrect.
We put the exact same thing.
Students struggle with finding the area and perimeter of the triangle, so I'm going to model how to use the formulas to find the area and perimeter. My triangle has 3 side lengths, 4 feet, 8 feet, and 12, and a height of
Yep.
So
I
6.
set up an example too on the board.
Yeah, I was going to do that. I was going to draw that up there. And a height of 6 feet. To find the perimeter, we add all 3 of the outer sides. And then I put, for example, I put it in here, but then you just said that a strong model is making a mistake. So even though I can say that, then I'm just gonna accidentally add all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And so when you add them all, it's 30. Isn't it 30?
I used a different. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. So, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I just said add 3 sides, and I sat there and added 4 because I was just moving too fast or whatever. And so let me go back and make sure that that I added correctly. So then I'll show them. Here's 4 on the outer, 8 on the outer, 12 on the outer. So you just add 12 plus 8 plus 4. And I always tell them to line it up vertically so that way they don't make the mistake. And so 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14, and then carry 1, and that's 2. So the perimeter is 24 feet.
Okay.
Is that correct?
So yeah, and you didn't get a chance to get to the area, which is fine because I have it in my script. So when I model, I'm gonna model and treat you like a student.
Okay. Perfect.
You'll hear that, and then also, I scripted down here for releasing them to independent practice. But setting up for your labs, for your active monitoring.
Okay.
So you'll hear me do that when I do the model as well.
Okay.
So I want you to watch for that. So when I'm modeling, watch for me making the mistake. Watch for me correcting the mistake. And then setting up for active monitoring, specifically what I'm coming to look for. Because that's how you know if your reteach was effective. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. Can I use your board?
Yes, absolutely. You want me to turn that off?
No, it's okay.
Are we using any of these?
I just used a different one, but if you absolutely could use one of those. Yeah. I am for their independent practice.
Okay.
Yeah, for the student independent practice, they'll be using those.
Okay.
Okay.
It is cold in here.
It is. Okay, class, so I was reviewing your lesson 24 quiz, and it looks like the majority of the class struggled with question 2, which asked us to find the perimeter of a triangle. This is really important because in our next lesson, we will be finding the area of trapezoids, and we have to know how to find the area of a triangle to find the area of a trapezoid. So we're gonna take a minute and revisit how to find the area and perimeter of a triangle. So that you have that before we move on to trapezoids. So here's my triangle. And the base is 10 centimeters. The height is 5 centimeters. And the other 2 side lengths are 8 centimeters. And 7 centimeters. First, I'm going to find the area. Area is the amount of space inside of the triangle. What formula do I use for the area of the triangle? Area equals...
Length times width.
No. Area equals 1/2. What's this?
10 centimeters, so half of that would be 5.
But what number does this represent? Or what?
Base.
Yep. And then this?
Is my height.
Yep. So area equals half of base times height. So now I need to be careful. Just like we just identified, I want to make sure that I'm using the right numbers. I'm using base and I'm using height. I'm not using the sides for area. The base is the side I'm using as at the bottom, and the height is the perpendicular distance from the base to the top point. So let me plug in the numbers to the formula. This is 1/2 10 times 5. You can do this 2 ways. You can just make this number half already and eliminate the half. So you could do, we know half of 10 is 5, and multiply that. So the area is 25. Or you could multiply these. Area is 1/2, 10 times 5 is 50, 1/2 of 50, area equals 25. And then divide that by half. There's two ways you could find the area. But either way, you get to area equals 25. So you could multiply first or do 1/2 first. And the biggest thing that we need to make sure we're doing is using our, labeling our answers. Is area just centimeters? No, area is squared. So centimeters squared. So now I'm gonna find the perimeter. The perimeter asks us to add all sides. So for a triangle, I'm going to add 8 centimeters plus 7 centimeters plus 10 centimeters plus 5 centimeters. So 15, 22, that's 30 centimeters. Does that look right?
No,
No,
because you said the size, right? Outside.
I said sides. I included 4 numbers here. I added an extra number. Oh no, I don't use height. I need to redo this. It's 8 centimeters plus 7 centimeters plus 10 centimeters. I only do the outside, not the inside. I can't include height. So 18 plus 7 is 25 centimeters is my perimeter. I need to make sure not to make the mistake of using my height. And one easy way to check that is to make sure I just have 3 numbers and they're the numbers on the outside. So let me summarize so I don't mix these up again. Area uses base and height, so this number and this number, but perimeter uses these outside numbers. So now it's your turn to try this on your own. You're going to use number 1 and 2 on your worksheet to find both the area and the perimeter of the triangle in front of you. Remember, these are 2 different questions, so you should see 2 different calculations on your paper. Before you start, I want you to hear how I'll be moving around the room so you know exactly what I'm looking for. I will be taking 3 laps around the room. The first lap, I'm checking, are you using the correct formulas? Are you using the sides for perimeter? And are you using area equals half base times height for area? The second lap, I'm checking for something different. Are you putting the correct numbers in the correct spots? Are you using base and height for area and only the sides for perimeter? And the third time, I'm looking if you have the correct answers, the final answers.
Okay.
Remember, this is independent work, so try it on your own first, and if you get stuck, reread the problem, check your formulas, and ask yourself the same questions that I modeled earlier. You may begin. Okay. And see.
Good, yeah.
So what did you notice that I did during my model? I told you to look for.
You told me to look for the mistake, so you added the 4 numbers instead of just the 3. You did go back here and self-correct, so you realized that you added the height.
Mm-hmm.
And so you took that out and re-added to get the area of, the perimeter. To get the perimeter, you did name your laps and what you were looking for. So the first lap was the formula, making sure that the formula was right. And then you was gonna plug in the numbers and make sure those were right. And then you were gonna make sure that the answer is correct.
Yeah, so I named the laps for him.
You naming the laps.
We have 4 minutes.
Okay.
I want you to practice really quick.
Okay.
And you can use, do you want to use, you
Mm-mm.
can do
I'm
just
gonna
what
go
I
with
did.
my memory.
Okay, all right.
That might botch you up.
Make sure you do the things that I had you look for. Make sure you make the mistake and correct it,
Okay.
and name your laps
Okay.
for the students, okay?
Okay.
You can erase mine, obviously.
All right, good morning, boys and girls. We are going to do a quick little reteach review on area and perimeter. As I erase the board, go ahead and get out your notebooks, because I want you to take notes and make sure you have the right formulas. All right, so as I was grading grading the lesson 24, I noticed that the majority of the class got number 2 wrong, which was finding the area and the perimeter of the triangle. And so it's very important that we understand how to find the area and perimeter, because when we move on to lesson 25, which is trapezoids, you have to know how to find the area and perimeter of a triangle. So I'm going to begin by modeling a problem for you. So you know Ms. Wheeler does not draw a straight line and everything in my triangle. See, this real pretty. So I'm going to just quickly draw a triangle. I want you to do the same. Put this in your notes. Okay. So I have labeled my triangle with the different sizes. So this long area here at the bottom is called my base. Then I have one side that is 8 feet, and then I have another side that is 4 feet, and then I have my height. Okay, so when I am finding the, let's go with perimeter first, because I feel like perimeter is the easiest for you guys. So the formula for finding the perimeter, the formula for perimeter, and I'll be a lot neater.
Oh yeah, no, you're practicing. That's why we practice.
Is to basically add all 3 sides. Nope, I don't want to say it that way. I want you to understand that you have to add all outer sides. Okay? So when I say outer, I mean boom, boom, boom. Not anything that's on the inside. So when I do that, I want to do this quickly because I know you guys have to go to the bathroom. So I want to go ahead and I just want to add this up real quick. Let's see. And Mrs. Wheeler always tells you to write it vertically so that you don't make the mistakes. So I have 8 and 2 is 10, 6 and 4 is 10, that's 20, 2 and 3 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you because I think your kids are here.
Okay.
I like how you labeled, I didn't do that. I like how you labeled the side height base. I can tell you were about to make your mistake.
Yep.
So that's good. One thing that I didn't get to see you do is plan for your lap. So make sure when you plan for your reteach that I didn't because I stopped you because your kids are here.
Okay.
But I'm sharing my script with you too.
Okay.
So you can compare the scripts.
Okay.
And as you work on that, like as you plan for it, if you want me to come back later today, I have a meeting during your PEP, but I can stop by after school. If you have any questions about anything, just text me and let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know because I got tutoring too.
Yep,
So.
yep.
Okay, thank you. This was super helpful. Goodness gracious.
Good.
I tell you, I think I want to give up on teaching.
No, you don't.